Hey guys, this is your host Thomas Tyree here from On the Hot Podcast. Today, I have some bonus content for you guys. The bonus content we'll be covering today will be in the sport of college football. In today's bonus segment, I'll be sharing my thoughts on the Florida Gators hiring Jon Sumrall to be their next head coach to hopefully lead the Florida Gators back to success in college football. So the news broke yesterday that former Tulane head coach Jon Sumrall will be the next head coach for the Florida Gators. I believe the contract is a 6-year contract worth $44.7 million for Jon Sumrall to become the next head coach for the Florida Gators. And hopefully he can bring some success, because it's been a long time since we had success at the Swamp in the football category. And hopefully we could be a competitive SEC team once again in college football. So my thoughts on the hire: I'm not one of those Florida Gators fans that's going to bash the hire. I think Jon Sumrall can bring some success back to the Florida Gators, because we damn sure need it right now. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once Lane Kiffin's decision of wanting to go to LSU, once that job became available, I think we all knew that we were out of the Lane Kiffin sweepstakes, because that was the best coaching job for anybody a part of the head coaching carousel to take. So Lane Kiffin is gone. Now Florida Gators fans have Jon Sumrall, but I think he could bring some success. He was successful at Tulane. Tulane was a really good football program this year. In his 2 seasons there, he went 16-7, and he's had success elsewhere. He's a 2-time Sun Belt champion at his time with Troy at Troy University, 2022 Sun Belt champion. So the man has been successful. And I know this might be deja vu with the Florida Gators getting a G5 head coach once again from Louisiana, like we just had with Billy Napier. But something tells me that Jon Sumrall is going to be different. Something tells me that he's going to bring that grit and work ethic that he had to turn around universities like Troy and Tulane. He's going to bring that to the SEC and bring those type of winning characteristics to the Florida Gators. I mean, he's a proven winner. He changed programs around. He has the energy, he has the passion. He's a defensive-minded head coach that's already said that he's willing to help the offense progress with the Florida Gators. He's been around college football for 20 years or so now. He's got some experience and been a part of several coaching staffs over the last 2 decades. So I think if you weren't going to get Lane Kiffin, this was the next best thing if you were a Florida Gators fan, to get someone like Jon Sumrall to be the next head coach for the Florida Gators. Now, my thing is, the Florida Gators do have a passionate head coach now, Jon Sumrall. I have a lot of questions. Can he retain some talent that might enter the transfer portal? Can he be on his P's and Q's recruiting? Because now you're in the best conference in college football. You're up there with the big dogs of Alabama, LSU, Auburn, Georgia, Texas. Like, there is no playing around. This is not the G5. This is the SEC. So you're going to have to recruit your ass off. You're going to have to grab talent in from the transfer portal. You're going to have to retain talent that might be thinking about leaving out of the Swamp, because the Florida Gators did just go 4-8 this college football season. They've been through a lot. So I want to see what he could do. But I think this is the most passionate football head coach that the Florida Gators possibly could get here since the days of Urban Meyer, when he was winning his national titles back in the heyday, or Will Muschamp that we had years and years ago. We need to win now. It's been a long time since the Florida Gators have been a successful football program, and the football program can easily look at the basketball program that just won a national title during their historic March Madness run just a year ago. So it's time to win now. We got to recruit well if we want to compete with the big dogs in the SEC. So I like that also, the hire that Jon Sumrall is going to be the head coach for the Florida Gators. But I also like the fact that the Florida Gators are bringing in former Jacksonville Jaguars general manager David Caldwell to be their next general manager for the football program. Now, I know if you look at David Caldwell and his track record when he was a former general manager with the Jacksonville Jaguars about 7-8 years ago, wasn't the best track record. But he was the GM when they were in the AFC Championship 7-8 years ago. And if you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars' work, other than the AFC Championship appearance, he did whiff on NFL talent. Some first-round picks that he whiffed on, and overall there were some busts. Taven Bryan was a bust. C.J. Henderson, former corner from the Florida Gators, was not a good NFL talent. And he extended Blake Bortles when everybody knows, if you follow the Jacksonville Jaguars all those years ago, he was just a system quarterback to not fuck it up, basically. Because the Jacksonville Jaguars had so many key defensive players, and it was their defense that got to the AFC Championship years and years ago in the NFL. But I will give David Caldwell a chance, because it's not like he was out of being a general manager and executive for that long. He was an executive for the Philadelphia Eagles. We know Howie Roseman is one of the most active general managers in football. He will trade for any NFL player that has a damn beating heartbeat in the NFL as we speak today, as long as you can trade for NFL players. So he's learned from Howie Roseman, one of the best general managers in sports today. Hopefully he learns some things, because David Caldwell is going to have to be very active as the Florida Gators general manager. He's going to have to recruit high school talent very well. We need 4-star, 5-star recruits to come to the Swamp and help us compete now. It's win now mode. It's not wait a year or so. We need to win now. So he's got to recruit his ass off, bringing in high school talent. He's got to recruit well, trying to lure talent that's a part of the transfer portal, bring them to the Swamp. So we're going to see how this plays out. I think this is definitely going to be a better era than what we had. Of course, if you guys follow the podcast, I said all along that Dan Mullen should have never been fired years ago. Hopefully this is a better era that we've had, if you're a Florida Gators fan, from the years that we had Dan Mullen. Definitely the previous 2-3 years that we had with Billy Napier. Hopefully Jon Sumrall can bring some success to the Florida Gators. I do like the characteristics that he showed at Tulane. I'll be honest, I didn't really know much of him until I did my research on him when he was a part of Troy University, but definitely followed Tulane this year, and I think we're going to get one hell of a head coach coming to the Florida Gators into the Swamp. But those are my thoughts on Jon Sumrall becoming the next head coach for the Florida Gators. That is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, signing off, and I'll see you guys on next week's episode.